Welcome back to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm Bobby Capel, and we shift our attention now on domestic violence to teenagers in this segment. Sadly, they are not immune. Statistics show 1 in 3 teens experience dating violence. Adolescent girls in abusive relationships are 5 times more likely to become pregnant than girls in non-abusive relationships. And in the last 10 years in the state of Georgia, most victims who were murdered by their significant other began that abusive relationship sometime between the age of 13 and 24. Nancy Freoff, CEO of the Partnership Against Domestic Violence, joins us now at the table. It seems that an intimate partner violence is definitely something to worry about, and for teenagers as well.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that's the case. As you said, 1 in 3 teens will experience violence in a dating relationship. Yet, on the other hand, 81% of parents say that they don't believe that teen dating violence will be an issue for their children or their children's friends. So there's a big gap between the reality and our recognition of the reality. So it's so important that we talk about it, that we educate teens about it, but we also educate parents and adults serving teens so that they can be a part of the intervention and the solution as well.
Let's start with that. For parents who may have a teenage daughter or even a son for that matter, I guess you never know at this day and age, what are the signs other than the obvious, like bruising or whatnot, that your child is being abused?
All right, well, obviously bruising can be a sign, but another sign could be maybe there's a big change in makeup or in clothing. So if it's summertime and all of a sudden your daughter is wearing long sleeves shirts and putting on lots of makeup, maybe they're trying to hide the bruising so it's not evident. If there's an increase or a beginning use of alcohol or drugs, if you see a major mood change, your young person seems anxious, seems nervous, seems depressed, and that's been a big shift. Outbursts of crying, if they start being secretive, if they're, and all of these things can be just normal teen behavior. So I don't want to say if you see it, oh my gosh, it means
Right.
what's going on. But if you start seeing some of these things happening together, it's a really good time to sit down with your teen and say, hey, you know, things don't seem to be going great. Talk to me about
how do you have that talk with the teen? Because most
Yeah.
teens I know aren't interested in talking to their parents in general.
Well, you know, you're absolutely right. And 70% of teens that experience dating violence say that they never talk to their parents about it. So that's why it's...
And you know they're not talking to their friends about it, most likely. So
They may not be talking to their friends, but if they're talking to somebody, they're probably more likely talking to their friends than they're talking to their parents. But if you're a parent...
But they might be holding it inside is what I'm getting
Exactly.
at.
They might well be holding it inside. So your only indication may be some of these signs. So you sit down and you say, hey, darling, what's going on? Talk to me about what's going on. Nothing, everything's fine, everything's fine. Okay, you know I'm always here. You know I'm ready to listen. I'm not going to get mad. You're not going to get in trouble. I care about you. Whenever you need to, come talk to me about what's going on. And you know what, sweetheart, if you can't talk to me, is there somebody at your school maybe that you can talk to? Is there somebody at our church that maybe you can talk to? Let's figure out some place that you're going to feel safe to talk about what seems to be bothering you now.
If you're a teenager, in a lot of cases, these are your first ever relationships. So how do you recognize that something is not right, that this is not the way it should be going?
Okay.
It's unacceptable.
And that's a great question. And bottom line, a relationship should be about care. It should be about respect. It should be about sharing power. It should be about being able to have disagreements. So if you're with, and generally dating violence doesn't start out with the violence. It may start out with name calling. It may start out with demeaning behavior. It may start out with making fun of you in front of your friends or with talking bad about you on social media. And if somebody cares about you, they should be saying good things about you. They shouldn't be talking about how dumb and stupid that you are. So if you're with someone and you start feeling like, wow, they're really saying some pretty mean things about me, and I feel kind of embarrassed about what they say or what they put out about me when I'm around other people, that's a big red flag that you need to pay attention to.
Your organization has a candlelight vigil coming up. What is that about?
We do. That's on October 27th at 6 p.m. Nelson Mullins and Atlantic Station. Unfortunately, every year there are many, many victims of domestic violence, people who pay the ultimate price. They give their life They are killed as a part of an act of domestic violence. So every year we have a candlelight vigil to honor them. It's open to the public. We light a candle for every person that was killed throughout the year because of domestic violence. It's an opportunity for their family and their friends to come and to mourn their loss, and also to look at how do we come together to do this work as a community, so next year there will be many fewer names that we're mentioning.
Well, thanks so much for being here, and continued success with your good work that you're doing.
Thank you for putting a light on this important topic.
All right, well, coming up, we talk to Cobb County's District Attorney about domestic violence here on Public Affairs on Peach, and we're talking about the law enforcement side of things when we come back.